So I'm going to give you guys an update on the 90p. So it's been a while because last video you guys saw, if you remember, is actually me planting this and doing the dry start. So it's actually been, almost pushing 2 months now since that's actually happened. So it's been really a while since you guys have seen this tank. That's my bad. I've had a lot of pre-recorded videos that I had to get out first and just upload, and then now I'm finally able to actually like kind of film some actually recent stuff now. So you guys will definitely see like more up-to-date videos on a lot of these tanks that have actually been running for a while. So the 90p, as you can see, it's all carpeted, it's all filled. It is a little hazy. I'm thinking bacteria bloom a little bit, which is weird because this filter is completely cycled, but it seems like it's kind of readjusting itself for sure. But everything else is doing great. I actually have Livestock in here. There's auto sinkless and a mono shrimp and some neorites right now. So just basically inverts and some auto sinkless. But I do plan to put a big school of, I think as of right now, ruby tetras is what we're going to do in this tank. Definitely different. I don't think a lot of people have done ruby tetras, so I think it's going to be a little bit different of a choice for sure. And they look really sick. To me, they're like a better ember almost. Have red like embers, but then their tails are, have the black tips and they get a little more red, so I think they look a little more sick. But so when I dry started this, I actually should have made an update video because this carpet was actually about 3.5 inches thick at the dry start before I even filled the tank. So it was super this thick. So I went ahead and filled it up. And actually, just last week I trimmed this tank, so that's why you see it's super thin now. Basically, this is how I kind of want to keep it in the long term, about this thin. It'd be nice to even keep it thinner, but it's a lot of work, and I'm gonna try. But I think this is about as thin as I'm gonna ever be able to keep it, at least healthy wise. Because to keep at this level and to be able to keep it healthy it is a lot of work. So this is about a 1/4 inch tall, so it's pretty thin. So it's still gonna be pretty thin, and because when Iwagumis, I mean, it's nice to have big thick carpets, but then the light can't penetrate good enough, and you end up having a lot of dead matter underneath, so it's just not good for the tank. So keeping it trimmed as low as possible consistently is best as possible. But so that's why the carpet looks kind of it right now. There's a little bit of melting actually going on because a lot of this underneath growth was actually immersed, from the dry start. So, but you can see, I can already see like all the new leaves growing in. So that will just basically, all that new growth will grow right on top and it'll look brand new again. But yeah, the trimming didn't go too bad. Usually with 90p Iwagumis, I've seen like it takes people about 2.5 hours to trim it, which I can definitely see why. I actually just straight trimmed it without not stopping, and it still took me about 40-45 minutes to do the whole thing. So it's definitely a chore for sure. But at the same time, mine was super thick, so I really had to take my time. But I don't know if we'll see. But definitely, it's probably gonna take every time we do trim this tank, it's definitely probably an hour chore for sure. But over time, I think we'll get faster at it for sure. I've never actually had a carpet this bit on this scale before, so it's definitely newer for me. But I got a lot of new 88 tools, a lot of bigger ones. Actually, I could probably show you guys that later in the video, some of the tools I'm using to trim this carpet with. I might actually make a video on that separately as well. I was gonna film the trimming of this carpet at first, but then I just didn't have time. So definitely when I go to trim this the second time, I will be filming it. So definitely be on the lookout for that. It'll probably be a while though. But with CO2, once this new layer starts growing back again, it won't take no time for that to grow right back. So we'll definitely be doing another trimming video for sure. But yeah, this tank's doing good. Obviously, it's not crystal clear like we want it yet, but it is doing pretty good. I've been dosing daily with 88 ferts. Obviously, with the 90p, that is what I'm dosing, is 88. Works best. But yeah, everything's going pretty good. The escape wise, I did wish I kind of did a little more. I'm not gonna lie, but of course, I mean, it's perfectly fine. I mean, there's always next year and more. But again, this is another tank. I don't know if I'll be rescaping next year. This scape might be staying like this for a couple years. I just don't know yet. I mean, of course, next year we can always add things, and we're still gonna add things still, like some mid grounds to this. When plants kind of get back in stock, I'll definitely put an order in. But maybe next year we add stems in the back or something just to change it up. I'm not sure yet. But I would like to actually do another scape because I do want to keep this as an Iwagumi. I think this 90p is like perfect for Iwagumi. I think that's kind of like the permanent scape I kind of want to do in this tank. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll actually do a big wood scape next in this tank. We'll just see what happens. But I definitely wish it did a lot more detail for sure, but it's gonna work out just fine. It does look pretty good, and this will be a good learning tank for um, future videos for sure on carpets and how to take care of them, and just the Iwagumi in general, because Iwagumis are a little bit more tougher of a plant tank to take care of, just because there's not as much plant mass, so you're more prone to algae, you're more prone to a lot of things. So there's not as much plants, sucking up those nitrates. So it's definitely a tank you have to do more water changes on and kind of keep more pristine for sure. But yeah, other than that, I do need to order solar RGB for this tank. That's the lighting. So that's why you see this level on top. The twin star is just actually sitting on top of it. The pendant that I had, of course, I took it off the ceiling, so it's just sitting there now. Which is another reason why this tank looks kind of weird, because the light's like so close to the surface, it's just kind of beaming off. So it's making it look kind of weird. But yeah, once we get the solar RGB, I'm just waiting on the O&F sands to get back to stock, the same sands that I have on the 60F, and then I'll order a solar RGB for this tank and get that going, because that's definitely what I need. It'll make this tank look 10 times better. It's gonna make the carpet look like a dark green. It's gonna look really nice. Obviously, a twin star, this version 2 make everything yellowish, which is why like you can see the carpet kind of looks kind of dull a little bit, which is it's really nice. Just it's just how the twin star makes green plants look. So yeah, the solar RGB is gonna make a huge difference, and there'll definitely be an unboxing video for that for sure. But yeah, other than that, everything's been doing good. I've been testing a little bit of ammonia, so that's probably why this little bit of fogginess and haziness has been going on. But again, everything's been doing fine, so I haven't seen anything. Nothing has died off, so everything's doing fine. But usually when you have a pH of 7 or lower, ammonia is kind of not as toxic, so usually you get away with a little bit of ammonia pretty quickly. So that's why a lot of these things can actually survive even when there's a little bit of ammonia. But I'm doing 50% every week, so diluting that a little bit every week is helping a lot too. So but yeah, other than that, I think that's all I really have to update you guys on this tank. I can't really think of anything else that has really changed other than you guys seeing the carpet. But yeah, it's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be really sick. I think mid grounds, I think I definitely want to do some mesh rep-ins, kind of along this edge and maybe up against here and maybe behind some of these rocks, just to kind of give a little more to it. Definitely want to do stems at first, because I kind of want to keep it Iwagumi. Once we put stems in there, then it becomes more of a Brazilian style. So I don't want to go there yet, but definitely like next year, if we don't end up redoing this tank, I think definitely we can add some stems to change it up. Starting here and kind of work our way down and kind of stop maybe in the middle here, or down below here, just kind of have a cool little gradual slope of stems back here. I don't know what stems we would do yet. I don't know if we would stick with greens, or I don't know if we would do reds at all, just because I don't know if it'd fit the theme at all. But we'll talk about that when the time comes for sure. But yeah, other than that, next year for the 88 contest, obviously this 90p, the previous scape on this tank that you guys have been seeing, that was obviously submitted to the 88 contest, so we'll see what that does this year. Hopefully it does pretty well. Not expecting, big results, but I definitely want to improve from last year for sure. That's the main goal. But I think the 45C, which is right next to me, is definitely going to be our contest scape for this upcoming contest for 2022. So, because that tank definitely is one of the more unique tanks in this room, and I think it's going to look a lot sicker once it gets all planted for sure. But yeah, next year if we decide, because the only reason I wouldn't want to rescape this by next year is because this Frodo, I paid a lot of money for all the Frodo that I had. I bought 500 pounds. Not that that really matters, but you almost want to use it quite a bit, get your money's worth out of it. But at the end of the day, I mean, I can easily sell this big old piece, which is like a perfect Udemy piece, for quite a bit and make some money back. Not that even that matters at all, but just trying to get my money's used out of this Frodo, and maybe keep it in this skate for a while before I go changing things out again, because definitely you won't get all your money back but all the time you enjoy the scape is what really matters. But yeah, I think it would be cool to change it up next time, and if we don't end up doing Yugumi, I think some type of wood scape would definitely be pretty sick, and do a lot of moss around the wood, do some hornwood maybe, and get some large pieces and really do some sick, kind of nature style tank, more mono inspired type tank, which is this is more of a mono tank itself, traditional, do some Frodo and carpet. But I think a really cool nature scape next would be pretty sick if we think that's what we want to do. But But yeah, I'll just stop rambling. I don't want this video to be too long. It's probably getting close to 10 minutes already. But other than that, if you guys have any other questions, you can follow me at JJ Aquariums. Ask me anything there. You can ask me down below in the comments. But other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.